Afternoon, everyone. I'm going to be really honest. They said I was going to be on a panel. They said after the accountant and the lawyer, and I have to say that was fascinating. Thank you very much. And it was nice as a franchisor to tick a lot of the things off that both Suki and James shared. So thank you very much for that. I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about, as a franchisor, what the relationship is like between the franchisor and the franchisee. Just so that you know a little bit about me, I ended up running, we now have 104 franchises across the UK. And I was very fortunate to get involved in this because of a pure passion for what we do. And at Creation Station, we inspire imaginations and nurture potential. And I think it was Suki that said, you know, you're going to speak to people who are absolutely passionate about what they do. And because a brand is not just about a logo, it's a culture, it's a way of delivering something, and it's the why. And when you're looking at a franchise, you want to actually look the person in the eye who is driving the business. What are they going to be doing to help you grow the business? How are they going to position the brand and make sure it grows in a way that helps you as the franchise owner? My business now, we have, as I said, established in 2002. I ran the business myself for 5 years. I actually started it because I had 3 little boys, Sam, Ollie and Josh, and I wanted, my compelling reason to want to run my business was I wanted a bit more flexibility around my family. Your reason obviously will be unique to you, but it's important to know your why. Why do you want to run a business? And what business do you want to run to give you what you want to achieve? And of course, it'll be different for everybody. We run art and craft classes, parties and events right across the country. We've inspired over 250,000 children since 2002, and we inspire about 12,500 children every week across the UK. But we can only do that because we have fantastic franchise owners. You see, we are only successful because of our franchise owners, which means we are committed to making sure our franchise owners have the knowledge, confidence, know-how, support, ongoing training to help them deliver what they want to achieve. We have a head office team and creative hub, and over the years we've been able to invest more and more in our head office team so we can support not just our franchise owners, but so we can help get bigger brands on board and position our Creation Station brand as the market leader, because you've seen what's happened on the high streets. If you're not innovative, if you're not making change, your brand will die. It doesn't matter how well known it is, you have to be innovative. And that's where, as a franchisor, it's my responsibility to ensure that we're positioning ourselves continually as the market leader. For instance, we've done things like, we've done national partnerships with Lego, and in 2 weeks' time, we are running some national workshops, working with Hasbro, running Play-Doh sessions across the country. We actually are taking delivery of 12,500 tubs of Play-Doh on Tuesday. So look out if you're on Facebook and you are, check out the Creation Station Limited, because we'll be building houses with these tubs. But what we're doing with the tubs is we're sending them out to our franchise owners free of charge. They're going to be giving them to their customers free of charge within their class structure. And it just helps them position themselves, because any competitors that we have, although we haven't got a national competitor just yet, they can't get those types of relationships. So you need to think about what your brand, what the company that you're looking at, how do they distinguish themselves from the market? They're one of the things that you need to look at. And as a company, we've also won lots of awards. I was very fortunate to meet Richard Branson a couple of months ago. We came in the top 3 for the VOOM Awards for the positive impact on society. And again, the social media and the news stories we got out of that really helped position our network for the positive impact that we have. So a couple of thoughts, why run a franchise? People often say to me, well, I could set it up by myself. So of course you can. So you need to work out whether you want to set it up by yourself or whether you want to be part of a bigger brand. And here's a couple of thoughts I've had about it. One of the values I think of running a franchise, you have already in your life amassed a load of skills and experiences. Of course you have. You can benefit from your own hard work when you run your own franchise with the support, knowledge and know-how of somebody else's hard work. I have made so many mistakes and I have learned so much. And that means that all of the things that have worked, we roll out. All of the things that haven't worked, we don't. We pilot and test. And if they don't work, the franchisee doesn't suffer the cost of that. Cost in terms of time or money. We're testing and we're piloting. So you can benefit from your hard work and from the rest of the brand value and hard work. You can build on those skills that you've got. So when you're looking at a franchise, I mean, people often change whole directions, but you can build on the skills if you like speaking to people, if you enjoy being social, if you enjoy, I don't know, meeting other people, or whatever skills that you particularly like as well. There might be that you're really good at IT, but you don't necessarily want to sit behind a computer all of the time. And it could be that you can take part of that, but adapt it into a different market. So the skills you've got will be really valuable in running your business. So it's about, as I think Suki said, you need to do a self-assessment of yourself. I don't think I'd be a very good funeral director. So there's certain things I know I wouldn't be very good at, but somebody else might be fantastic at that. So you've got to find the right match for yourself. Another reason about running a franchise, you have control over your hours. In a job, of course, you've got your fixed hours, and you can't generally earn any more unless you've got a bonus scheme. When you run your own business, if you want to ramp up your sales because you want to go on holiday or you've got deposit for a house to save up for, you can earn more money when you want to. Massive benefit of running your own business. And with a franchise, there are other elements, there'll be other blueprints in the business that you can take and maybe scale and look at how you can scale. But the training and support will be there to help you. And talking about systems, it's a blueprint that's established, tried and tested. The mistakes that happen when you're running a business, you are not having to make all of those mistakes yourself. Yeah? There is a system and a model, and if you roll that out, not just in the Play-Doh sessions, you can of course gain the benefit. You're also part of a team of like-minded people. And I think this is really important because running a business can actually be quite lonely. You're doing it all yourself, you're trying to juggle life and all the other things. Our franchise owners, we have a collective sort of, shared values. It's a big part of our business. So we only award our franchises to the people who share those values. So we have a network of very proactive, supportive, and I would say caring franchise owners who support each other, have a community. Because after a while, I know some of our franchisees have said they'll go home, they're really excited about something or other, they'll talk to their partner, and a few minutes later, the partner's eyes start to glaze over, There's only so much excitement you can talk about, I don't know, a contract or whatever. But when we talk within our group, everyone's excited with you and gives you more ideas. So you build that enthusiasm, you share the skill set. We had somebody recently who on our Facebook group, a closed Facebook group we have for our franchise owners, somebody wanted to do a Minecraft party. It was like, within about 5 minutes, they'd had about 7 or 8 ideas. Well, you could do this, and when I did that, you can do that. So it's a collective, positive community there to support each other. And it's really supportive because business, like life, it goes a bit like that. That's life, isn't it? Sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's tough. And having people around you to support you when it's tough and to celebrate when it's going right is really valuable. And of course, when you run a franchise, you've got that financial modelling. You might want to start off small, or you might be able to go in at a different level. There may be elements to the franchise you can invest. So for instance, we have a core franchise, and then we have an enhanced. The enhanced is definitely got more scales and can turn into a management franchise. So depending on where you are, you can do the financial modelling, and you can look at your business plan. And exactly like Suki said, your business plan is your path. If you don't know where you're going, you're definitely not going to get there. So your business plan helps you focus where you're going. It's one of the things we talk about a lot in our franchise network. It's about your goal have to be written down. A goal in your head is just an idea. When it's written down on a piece of paper, it becomes an action. It becomes a plan, and then you work out what you have to do. But small steps, you don't go there straight away. You have to break it down and celebrate each success as you go. So what to look for when you are, doing your research and exploring the idea of yourself running a franchise? Well, 100%, it's got to be the right match for you. There are a lot of franchises around, and ultimately it's got to be about a partnership. It's about you and what suits you. What gets you excited? What makes you give you that fuzzy feeling, Because you'll work harder running a franchise and running a business than you ever will when you're employed. So it's got to get you excited, because you've got to excite your customers. You've got to show that you're passionate about what you're doing, because it's your business. You want a business that has got market potential. And that's again where your research comes in. If you're thinking about, selling widgets, you need to make sure that you can't just sell a widget once, but you want to be able to upsell or cross-sell something else to that customer, in my opinion, because if you've got the word of mouth and referrals, but once you've got one customer, ideally you want to sell them something else, because it's a lot more expensive to get a new customer than just to sell to existing customers other products. So one of the things we do in our business, it was an idea actually from a franchise owner. She had a baby, Emma Tunison, who lives on the Isle of Wight, and she said, I've had this idea, Sarah. She had a baby. She said, why don't we do a little footprints on canvas once a month for new mums, new dads with their baby. A month later, we'll do footprints on paper and bunting and fabric, etc. So we piloted that, we've launched it, and we've rolled it out. But the smart thing about that was it was about connecting with our customers at the formative stages when they're just making friends. That means that mother will then come along to one of our classes. They may well then book a birthday party. They might buy the range of products that we have. We now do evening classes for mums, Prosecco, tapas, and a bit of crafting. It's going really well, 25 quid a ticket. But our process, it's all about a system. It's all about processes. And when you've done one, you can upsell or cross-sell. So when you're looking at your business proposition, your business plan and the franchise, what are the systems in place? How are you going to get your leads in? And once you've got the leads in, how are you going to sell to them? How are you going to help them? In our business, we call it just making friends. We help people and we give them opportunities to inspire their children. And that is our system in our business. And we're doing a lot of ongoing training on that as well. And because we're a creative company, we do have a lot of innovation. That idea actually came from one of our franchise owners. We get stacks of ideas from our franchise owners. Some of them we can roll out, some of them we can't because it's not appropriate. But again, you need to look at, how has the franchise adapted in the last 5 years or 10 years if they've been around. We've been around for 14 years and we have adapted quite a lot. How do they communicate the change? How often will you hear from the franchisor? Will you ever see them? What's the team? Is it just one person? What if they're sick? What happens if something? What happens to your business if something happens to the franchisor? What are the emergency processes in place if you have an emergency? Who can you call if you've got a problem? It sounds a bit like Ghostbusters, but you need to know who you're going to call. And of course, as your business grows, how are they going to support you? Is it just for the first 3 months? What's the track record of support? And again, by understanding the model and the processes, you can then start to assess whether it is really the right one for you. And of course, the ongoing training, it's not just about the initial, it's about the long term. And I think they're the type of things that you need to look into when investing in a franchise. So some of our innovations, I know I just mentioned the tiny treasures at the top, but and our core franchises there on the left, we've got our classes. We did, I started the business in 2002, franchised it in 2007 with the help of the BFA. So I ran it myself for 5 years and I learned a lot. And the idea was always to franchise it. And I really wanted to overcome the hurdles that happen when you start a business from scratch. So we put in a lot of systems and processes. And what I noticed is we were getting asked to do more and more things. We were asked to do a birthday party, We ran a birthday party. We actually ran an event here about 7 years ago. We didn't actually find, 9 years ago, at the time, we didn't find the right partner for us at that event. But what we did notice is our stand was packed. And people were making models and having 2-minute monster makes. And we were really busy on the stand. And I realised we're great at events. So as that turned out, we ended up running the Kids Zone for the Olympics in 2012 in Hyde Park for 2 weeks. And it was because of the experience here that gave us that idea about us being good at events. And that's about where you need innovation. You need your company that you invest in to be thinking laterally. You need to look at market potential and growth and scaling. We've done that through our systems of communication. We're now 104, we'll get to 250 within the next 3 years if we find the right people. And one of the ways we've looked at how we support our network is we've taken the top 10% of our franchise owners, we've employed them, and they help support franchise owners from month 3. We do a lot of hand-holding in the first 3 months, and then after that, as well as the head office team, we work with our franchise owners for support. Because they're delivering exceptional services in their own area, they are best positioned to support franchise owners. So a question you might want to ask is about, how do you scale? How are you going to ensure the support and the standards are there when you scale? Because that's important. So one of the things that we look for, because we've talked about this partnership, what will your franchisor look for in a franchisee? Because it might be that you're not right for them. Because we actually only award to 2% of people who inquire. So the type of things that we look for, we surveyed our franchise owners. And one of the things we do when we award a franchise, we ask people to do a profile, an online profile test. It just helps us understand the type of support that they might need. And these 4 main areas came out as the characteristics of our most successful franchise owners. Definitely being a people person. Yeah, people buy people. Your brand and everything else is great behind you, but ultimately, people will buy you. I don't know about you, but I don't tend to give people money if I don't like them or trust them, because I don't think I'll get what they promise. We don't buy from people we don't like, do we? Generally. We might not like them after we've bought, but generally, we don't buy from people we don't like. So our most successful franchise owners are passionate about what they do. They care about what they do. They also want to run a successful business. It's not a hobby. They are driven to run a successful business. They've got personal goals, they've got financial goals, and they are on track to achieve them. They'll need help with that, but they are happy to ask for help when they get stuck, because that's why we're here. Our successful franchise owners are proactive. They don't wait for it to happen. They get out there and make stuff happen. And they have a flair and a positive attitude. So I said, well, life's a bit like that. I've just done a talk, actually. I can't remember if I just said that in this talk or the last one, but life's a bit like that, so is business. And it's important that if you're at the bottom and life's terrible and business is terrible, if you're the type of person who can push yourself down and say, okay, that didn't quite go to plan, but I've learnt this, and next time I'll do that. Well, they're the qualities of our successful franchise owners. If you see the world is all terrible and that's awful and it wasn't my fault, it was that person's fault, we don't look for those qualities in our franchise owners, because you have to take account and be responsible for what you do. We can support you, but we cannot do it for you. And if you don't like taking responsibility and being accountable, well, certainly I would question whether running a franchise is right for you. It's your business, you need to make it happen, and you need to ask for help and support if you are struggling. Yeah. We did, in terms of Right Match, we did a independent satisfaction survey with Smith & Henderson. What I mean by that is they surveyed our franchisees anonymously, so no names or anything, and we got some results back from that. Basically, we got a 5-star rating from our franchise owners, and some of that stuff included, got 100% satisfaction from the training that we do. All this information is in our franchise information pack. But the point being, I believe, is we got these great results because we found the right match with our franchisees. Because it's got to be that 2-way relationship. because it's a long time, you know, typically a 5-year contract. Plus, we've got people who've been with us 7 years plus now. So we get these results because, one, we're committed to their support, and we've got the right people in place as well. So what to look for in your franchisor? I added this in because the chap who used to do the marketing for the BFA, Paul Stafford, he put a post on LinkedIn a couple of weeks ago. What to look for in a franchisor, and actually it was 10 o'clock at night. You know, you just go into bed and you just have a quick look at your phone. Yes, you do. And I rattled this sentence off, just came to it, I just wrote it, and thought, actually, that's really good. So I've put it in here, and there's 3 things I think you look for. I think you need a franchisor with vision. They need to be innovative, not just with their services and products, but with their systems and how they position the brand. I think they need to have great values, because with shared values, it's about the why and the differences that you make. Although we do arts and crafts, we say it's not what we make, it's about how we make people feel. And that's, I think, how we differentiate from any potential competitor. And finally, I think you need a franchisor with vitality, because actually that's about energy and drive and how your brand is going to keep pushing forward day after day and year after year. So that's me. I hope that's helped you. I think the most important thing is understanding what's important to you, and I wish you every success on your journey for a successful business. Thank you very much.